Alright folks, so what I got going on today is I'm replacing the leaf springs on our 2023 Raptor. We have a Raptor 352. Like I said, it's a 2023. It's got 6-leaf, 3,500 pound springs, and I'm going to show you here, we don't even have the golf cart in the back. And you can see just how close this rides. Barely a fingertip. So the new spring should bump it up maybe an inch to 1.5 inches. We'll see. So the first thing I'm going to do is use the hydraulics to lift this thing up. And come over here. First we'll auto level it. Now that she's auto leveled, I'm going to go to manual level. And I'm going to raise the right side. The wheels are off the ground. Now we can get started. I am sure that I will do things that some people won't agree with, and I'm sure that I'll do some things that some people find helpful. So, like they say on YouTube, this isn't a how-to, it's just a how I'm doing it. And in order to get started, I probably should have put a battery in my impact. And we're back. And all the nice weather we've been having, I waited till it was 40 degrees to do this. I'm not a huge fan of colder weather unless I'm hunting. And I am obviously not hunting right now. The wheels are off. Now what we're looking at is my springs. Got very greasy wet bolts. Got my leaf spring packs. What we're going to do is we're going to start by taking these and these off. But before I can do that, I got to get something to hold the axles up. Alright, so I use my floor jack in a 2x4. You're not really holding any weight, you just don't want them to fall. So let's see what we can do now. Even though it looks like a simple job, take a bunch of pictures of your stuff before you take it apart. Perfecto.
The top of the leaf spring pack was too close to the bottom of the frame rail to get an impact wrench for these bolts. So I used a breaker bar and a ratchet to loosen them, and then I could use my battery operated ratchet to take them off quickly the rest of the way.
I forgot to put my gloves back on. This I'm using as an 18mm socket to take these wet bolts off. And if you notice, the side with the grease zerk is the bolt. The nut is the other side. So do not put your impact over the grease zerk. Son of a bitch. Dumb ass. I'm sitting here pounding them. I never took the screw out, the bolt off. That'll make it easier. Except I took the wrong one off. You always get new U-bolts. Never reuse the old ones unless you're stranded on the side of the road in an emergency. So let's see how this goes.
I was told don't get the cheap Chinese springs, order the ones from Dexter and look at the stamp on the front of them.
Something like that. And I ordered these with brass bushings. These are brass bushings in here. You can get some cheaper ones with nylon bushings, but I think brass bushings are the way to go. So now, let's see if I can get this mocked up. I think I'm going to start with this side. Oh, not good.
In hindsight, the 2x4 was good for support while I was taking everything apart, but I should have chopped up the axles and done them one at a time to reinstall the springs. If you can see on this one, I put the bolt in on the leaf spring on the shackle side first, and then tried to put the bolt in on the side that doesn't have a shackle second. It's a lot easier to put the bolt in on the side that just has the hole in the leaf spring hanger, and then put the shackle side on next, because you have the ability to move the shackle around to adjust for the hole.
This will just suck it right on in. Tight enough to hold it in place for now. Oh, fuck. What's one of these? Oh, but these fuckers is bigger.
I would really suggest when tightening these U-bolts down to snug the nuts up and then do a certain amount of cranks with the ratchet on each nut and go around until they're all tightened evenly. You want to make sure you have about the same amount of threads sticking out on both ends of the U-bolt and not one abnormally longer than the other.
Fuck. I forgot to put my gloves back on. And now I'm just fucking greasy. Well, I think this side's done. Just got to put the wheels on. All right, let's move to side 2. Hopefully I can do side 2 quicker. So I got busy working because I'm kind of on a time schedule today and I didn't narrate much. I'll try to add some steps into the video when I edit. It was pretty easy. One thing you got to remember, and I didn't on the very first one, is screw your nut back onto your wet bolt and hammer on that. Don't just hammer on the threads, because I screwed up one of my wet bolts and now it won't thread. So I hope I'm able to find another one and not have to buy a whole kit.